There's my notification.
The notifications have started going out.
Unfortunately, we have had a few people who say they're not getting theirs.
Thank you, YouTube. Appreciate it.
I don't know.
Oh, I gotta get my list out. Did you make me?
They're flagging everything we got right now.
Yep. Did you make my list of which ones I'm allowed to?
No, this week we're gonna give out those cards with the oil vials in them.
How many of those do I have?
I'm getting ready to order 20 of them. Let's see how many people we get in here.
Okay. Candace Roberts, hello. Autumn Girl Acres, Kitty.
Hey, Lorelai.
Laura.
That's
Professor.
Lorelai. Oh, Laura, yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah, she hit me up earlier today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you hit her back?
Of course. Took her in. That's what I
Dave
did.
Jeffries.
Jeffers. Yeah, YouTube does think like.
But I want to give out samples too, not just those things.
No. Not this week. I still have to package so many from. I didn't even get a chance to package them last week. I mean, you get to
Grandma on a roll.
You get to give away one of the On Guard samples.
Well, duh.
Then there you go. I need to scoot over some. No.
Come scoot closer to me, baby. Yeah.
Donna Kelly.
Yeah, baby. Swinging, baby.
You're funny. You know how long it's been since we've seen that movie?
We miss you.
My wife is glad to see you guys back.
What's up, Prissy Green?
Who is David Jeffers' wife? I'm curious.
Bob. It's a homestead. Bob has a homestead. Bob has
Prissy
a homestead.
Green.
That's about all I got.
And you know Lorelai is Lorelai Lush for
Yes.
Less.
Be good.
Well, she was having issues yesterday about her iPhone and everything else.
Are we gonna talk about these again?
You can if you want. You are what did you put in your tea? Like
I got kicked in the head.
Oh wow. Nothing like a kick to the head.
I talked about this. I talked about this on my show.
Jason, where's your mason jar? You don't have a mason jar. Show him your big old. Really? Did you just cut yourself?
And I like barely grazed it.
Hey, John.
That's a Ricky Wallace knife right there for you.
Cut you.
Like cut my
Her
finger
name's
off.
Rebecca. Okay. Well, hello, Rebecca.
Okay, this is what I'm drinking out of. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Very cool. An organic, non-GMO heirloom apple for a teacher.
Hey, where's Short Round? That's for you, Short Round.
She's gonna have to go back, rewind it, show it to her. I'm sure. Oh my, be careful. Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, we still got a couple minutes before people get in here. I got my paper for the free stuff I'm allowed to give out. You know, you need to tell Carol to bring one of those examples of one of those boxes out here. And you know, it's getting close to time. We need to give some of those away too.
Well, the problem with giving them away.
Give those away when you do leave.
That's a great idea.
Kidneys. Seriously, call Carol and tell her to bring so I can show them what it's.
You realize your phone's gonna ring when you call her, when we call her, right?
Bob has a homestead. Bob has. Who is calling my phone?
Are you still taking orders for the EO book? Are you talking about the Modern Essentials book, or are you talking about the one that I'm writing? Because I'm still working on that one. Hey, I wear aprons. Of course, now she's not going to answer. She's doing laundry.
She's watching TV.
She has to be creative at this point because you got to turn the...
She puts the PlayStation on.
Why is she not answering?
Maybe Apollo ate her.
No.
She's probably over there messing with those chickens.
Could be. She got her new chicks and she's been...
Just stupid.
But she's kept them all alive, so can't complain.
And one died. She was like, push 2 of Epi. Clear.
Oh, that was the
Little
duckling.
9-volt battery.
That was the duckling. The duckling was frozen. What?
Who's frozen?
No.
We're not frozen.
Oh.
I don't see. Refresh, Candace.
Both. Okay. So the essential oils books that I use, 2 of the ones that I use are actually in the description on this video. So if you scroll down just a little bit past our not so pretty mugs, you'll see the links for that. As far as the book that I am writing, I haven't finished it yet. Hold on one second. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you, and you're on speakerphone while we're on, so don't be silly. Can you grab, you know that little card that has the samples in it? There's 2 of them. Can you grab those and bring them out here?
Tanya, give me 25 push-ups for being late.
Alright, thank you.
Give me 25 push-ups for being late, Tanya.
I'm just glad that she changed
Count
it to
'em out.
Tanya so that now it doesn't say Ed or Edward. Okie dokie.
Pickers is in the house. Picker.
Still froze. I don't understand that. Everybody else is okay.
Everybody else?
You might have to back out, like go
Back
out
out
and
and
come
come
back
back
in.
in.
Sometimes that happens.
Sorry about that, Candace. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for freezing Candace
Appreciate that.
Roberts' live stream. We appreciate that. Thanks. Fist bump.
Wind swept.
Wind
heard that one in a while.
Pretzels should be a food group. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. When you need a quick snack for kids, it does become a... And then you can give them marinara, and now you got a vegetable.
So if you got a bacon-flavored pretzel, could we eat it on keto?
Huh?
If I got a bacon-flavored pretzel, could I
No,
eat it on
because
keto?
it's flour. It's dough.
I miss...
Sorry.
I want a salt. You know what? I'm going to have a cheat day pretty soon.
You just had one.
I know, but I'm going to have another one in like a month.
Okay.
Not
was
the original on board. I found 8 on board.
Oh,
It's in
yeah, it's in these. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you. Give me hugs. Love you.
Alright, get out of here. Nobody likes children.
Oh, you are an evil person coming out here with that Dorito breath. Oh, go before I eat you. Oh, wait. Can you help me out there?
Here,
Yeah.
take
I'm
that
gonna
away,
whoop
too.
you. I'm gonna get you.
That Doritos don't bother me.
Can't believe she did that. Yeah, pretzels are not keto friendly. We know that.
Vino! I wish they were. When I have my next cheat day, I'm going to get a super large bucket. I didn't say bag. I said bucket of movie theater popcorn and maybe a soft pretzel.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably puke. But it'll be alright. I'll be happy.
Well, you know, it was so funny. We were cheating the other night when we went to sushi. But you know, when I thought about it,
You didn't really cheat.
we really didn't like.
Lonely Prepper! Wow.
Yes, I'm glad. Well, here's the thing, and I'm sure he does this a lot.
Brenda here. Hi, Brenda.
I think there's a possibility sometimes that he's there.
He's
And you
a
just-
stalker.
No, he's not a stalker, but he just doesn't comment very much.
He's like
he
the
listens.
CIA.
Woody's the same way. Woody sits in the background and
Maybe
just...
they're CIA partners.
It could be. You could use a cloud bread recipe to make pretzels. I don't know that it would be the same.
What's a cloud bread?
You use egg. It's the night before college starts back, so I'm rounding up lunch supplies while listening.
Tracy Downs.
Oh! On my way shopping, Farmer Meal.
John, that is just evil. Evil, evil, evil.
They're
Johnson.
not. Yeah.
John says pretzels are keto friendly. You just don't eat them. You just stare at them.
Yeah. Yeah, watch everything.
William McFadden.
Warm, soft, warm pretzel. I know, with that big kosher salt on it. Oh, and dip it in some cheese dip or some marinara sauce.
Yeah. Now, a lot of you guys that won last week, we have not gotten emails.
I got some of them.
Emails to know what address to send it to. So if you won last week, please, please, please get that email to us with the address that you want us to send.
Yeah, and also the other thing too is to remember.
I don't want one.
Remember that we I don't know, a bunch of you probably watched and know that we had a really rough week this past week, so I did not have a chance to package up samples. So
yeah, my truck blew up.
We'll be doing that at some point this week, so they will go out. It may just take me.
They're definitely going to go out this weekend at the latest.
At the very latest, yeah.
What's up, Goose?
Yeah, Vina, I think, sent hers.
You know, just the same way with the guy. Was it you, William McFadden, that won the...
No, Galloway.
William Galloway.
Yeah.
William Galloway won the wool, and I have not got his address yet.
I think her name is Donna.
I know, right? I know,
stop
right?
with craving pretzel carbs now. Okay, windswept. Yes, they already used the amaranth flour in them.
So, I don't know how many of you guys made it to Trap Talk on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it will be every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shameless plug! But I talked a little bit about Deep Blue now comes in a capsule form. Payow! This is now basically essential oil Advil.
Well, yes and no. It's got the extracts in it, but whatever.
I mean, that's what you take it for, inflammation. And let me tell you, our upline is just awesome. I love our upline. I love Lucy. She's awesome. And we went to go visit her when we were at the VA.
Yes, Prissy, I got yours.
And because every time we're in Augusta, we like to try to stop in and maybe see her or see some others. And
love you too, Cherish.
And my back was just screaming.
Yeah.
She gave me a couple of these.
And then she said, well, just take the bottle. I'm getting more in my next order. I'm like, okay.
Within like 5 minutes, I was like, ha, 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 ha.
And that's when we had that good dinner. And that's the thing, guys. He took this on a very empty stomach. Like he hadn't eaten all day.
My large intestine was starting to eat my small intestine.
You had me at capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so before we get started on the actual oil blend that we're going to talk about, I've been doing a lot of research, and I keep coming up with the same kind of things keep coming up. And one is about ingesting oils, and one is about neat versus diluted application. Okay. As far as ingestion goes, you gotta be really careful with ingestion. Think about how oil and water don't mix. So when you put...
Can I taste this one tonight?
But when you put that oil in your system, and I'm talking about all the time.
Like I do with my lemon.
Right, and Jason really should be careful. But he doesn't do it as much as he thinks he does. He does it maybe once every couple of days kind of thing. But he shouldn't put it in as much as he does. But anyway,
I love it.
You gotta be careful with these oils because you don't want them doing any internal kind of damage. The other thing with the...
Now, let me ask you something now. I mean, you say that, but when I was before the keto diet and I was pounding the sweet tea, I was putting 5 drops in my glass
every day.
Every glass. I think it made me sexier.
Yeah.
I know it made me pee like a Russian racehorse.
Yes, well, it is a diuretic, so yes.
But
well,
but I'm fine.
Well, let's think about this for a second. I can take lemon essential oil neat in one of these bottles because we reuse these bottles. I can take the sticker off and still have that sticky, grimy stuff that won't come off with soap. I can take neat lemon oil and it strips it right off. So if it'll do that to that stuff, what do you think it would do on the inside
but
of your
body
system?
has natural things that protects it, though.
Okay, but over time,
I mean, you have stomach acid. If they took the acid out of your stomach, just your natural stomach acid, it would go through this desk.
right? And that's fair. What I'm saying is to just not overdo it. Don't think you need to be putting oils down your throat every.
I don't think you could OD.
I think you very much could.
I haven't.
Well, and we've been fortunate this far, but there's a lot of
The only bad thing that's happened to me with essential oils was your fault.
But the other thing you have to be aware of is there's something called sensitization. If you continue to use oils neat all the time, you could develop a reaction to them.
Kind of like if you get stung by a wasp more than once.
Right.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
what I'm reading a lot of is that diluting your oils in a carrier oil does not lessen the effect of the oil. Okay? And that you should put, a carrier oil, because what it also does is it helps to, one, spread it out, and two, it also makes it so that you're not, okay, think about these essential oils. They're the highest purity of that concentrated that oil. So you might be wasting it by putting all of your bang in one little area where you could be spreading it out and putting that same power throughout, a larger surface. So
wait a minute now. So does that mean when you're putting the oils on my legs and my back that you're going to start using the carrier oil and I'm going to get like a good rub down, like a Caribbean rub down?
No. So this segues into
you can wear one of them little tiki dresses.
We put in the description box, which is something we're going to order some of. There are these little 3 milliliter bottles. And this, just to give you an idea, this little bitty bottle is a 5 milliliter. This is a 15 milliliter, so you can see the difference. These are 3 milliliter bottles, and it has a roller ball in it. And what you can do is put your carrier oil, and you can put your regular oils in there, and go ahead and put your little sticker with your identifier on it of what it is. And then that way you won't have to constantly, like for instance with you, I won't have to go, okay, let me put a teaspoon of carrier oil and let me put a couple drops of this. If you mix it right, you can go ahead and rub it on there and it won't be an issue of having to mix it up every time. Why?
Because then you won't massage it in.
No, I'll still have to rub it in. But the other thing too is that the absorption rate, so like when you just put it straight on the skin, it goes straight into the skin. If you put it on with a carrier oil, it stays on the surface a little bit longer and actually has a chance to work, instead of it just going straight in. So that's something to think about.
Because I had so many role-playing games to play with you in right up here.
Anyway. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing your oils, especially with children. You want to kind of limit how much you use them, and then also not just how much you use, but just their exposure to it. And the other thing too is with all of these oils that are phototoxic or photo whatever you want to call them, diluting them and putting them in a carrier oil will also help with that. So how long will carrier oils keep? I would say if it's something that you use pretty regularly, that's why I chose those 3 milliliter bottles. I'm thinking it's maybe like a month before it starts to really break down. the oil. So that's what I would do. That's why the 3 milliliter bottle would be perfect, because like for instance with Jason, we would use that almost daily for him, especially if it was already mixed up and ready to go. And all he had to do was use the roller ball, don't you think?
Huh?
We would be more inclined to use it if it was set up already as a roller ball to go ahead and put it on, instead of having to squirt it and then rub it in.
Because I mean, you do get a little upset with me when I ask you to.
I do, because what happens...
And then you smack it on me and you're like, yeah, I'll do it. Bow! Bow!
Because, guys, he waits until I'm asleep. I'm like snoring. I'm sawing logs.
Okay, again, not
and then
fair.
And then you're like, Robyn, can you put some
Not
oils
fair,
on
not
my
fair,
eggs?
because you're faster than Ali when it goes to sleep. Like, Ali used to be able to flip the switch and be in the bed before the room got dark. You flip the switch and you're already in a coma. You're in a coma before your head hits the pillow. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
That's why we only had 3 kids.
Well, no, that's because the doctors did what I asked them to do. That's why we only have 3. I mix citrus oil with my lotion, scent-free, to apply after showers and to pick me up. So yes, you can use a lotion. That's fine too.
She puts the lotion on the skin.
But that's why. So Bass said I need to try the Breathe Blend oil. My lungs are crap.
Long butter.
Breathe is a really good blend. It is in that one, I think.
I think so. Can I open this? Well,
Yeah,
this one's
you
already
can.
open.
But that's the singles. Well, I said, Jason, do you wake Robyn? She sleeps like the dead. Trying to wake Robyn up, the lady who slept through the great I know, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you notice how before we were giving away just those little tiny sample bottles, and you didn't really get any information and stuff with them. Well, our upline showed us some stuff that we can purchase that will help you guys out better. And we told you, the whole thing with the super chat. We're taking all the super chat donations that we get and we're putting it back into the shows to help purchase the stuff for the giveaways, all these cool samples, and to help pay for the shipping and blah blah blah, and the packaging and blah blah blah. So we got a couple, and they're called sample trios. Now, this sample trio is just called a sample trio.
Well, those are just the single samples. So
Right.
it's like...
And then here's a sample blend trio, okay? Now, in this sample trio, okay, we've got peppermint, melaleuca, and lavender, okay? Now, the bottles are a little bit smaller, but you get 3 oils
and
instead
I don't
of
think
1.
they're necessarily smaller. The amount, you get a pretty decent amount right there.
Yeah. It might be the same as yours.
It's just right. It's
instead
just
of short
long,
and fat, it's long and skinny. And it gives you a little bit of information, like on this one, it says with the lavender, diffuser or apply topically to calm stress, add a drop to the pillow at bedtime. The melaleuca, it says apply to soothe minor skin irritation. Use with shampoo for a healthy scalp.
Which is true. Mm-hmm.
Inhale deeply to invigorate lungs.
That's
add
the peppermint.
water and mist when overheated, and that's the peppermint. Okay, and then it tells you up here what aromatic, topically, and eternal.
So Kitty says those are the same amount as the mini bottles.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So you get instead
I'm
of one.
gonna give away some of those because one, it'll be a little bit easier for me to give those away instead of having to pre-package all of the different. Because when I do it, I have to take my bottle, I have to pour it into another bottle, put an introducer on it, put the cap on it, package it. This way, I'll be able to put these straight into an envelope and send it on, and it'll be a little bit easier to do. Okay, so Anita says, okay, so note to CPAP wearers, take a toothpick to apply to filter. Oh my gosh. She put a whole drop on the other night. Yeah, And when you're cooking with these, it's the same thing. Like if you have an oil that you can, like for instance, cinnamon. The cinnamon oil is very strong. So you only need to dip your toothpick in there and then stir it into whatever you're making. So that's the thing.
So I'm ready to give away our first trio pack.
Okay.
You come
Yeah,
up.
I have pipettes. I do have those, but again, taking them out, packaging them all up. Jason's wanting to give away like 10 every show, and making 10 and then wrapping, because I wrap them in bubble wrap so that they don't, get broken.
Right,
in the mail.
Tracy. They do look, absolutely perfect.
Perfect for a purse.
purses,
Yeah.
And then we got a blend trio, and there's all different kinds of trios.
Well, and this blend one is really cool. It has Breathe. I think it's Breathe, On Guard, and Digest Zen, which is really, really good. So that is definitely one. That's one I'm gonna invest a lot in, because those are pretty useful to have. Yeah, yikes, he's ambitious. I know, that's what, but we had we had some people donate some money to our super chat, and we thought, what would be a good way to use that? And so what we decided we'd do is we're just going to turn around and put that into, and what I may do, depending on what they are, or what the donations that come in, I may give away a full bottle of something.
Yeah,
at some point.
it's no different than
with
with Trap Talk. I will be giving away probably a half a dozen traps at one time, as long as the super chat stuff keeps coming.
Right.
You guys are the ones dictating the awesomeness of.
So Anita wants to know if she could purchase a blend sample from us. Sample pack. No, I'll take care of it. Put Anita's name on there.
Oh, Anita just won.
I mean, Anita has been, and put next to it the blend one, because you have to look in the limited offers, Kitty. It's in the back office.
Yeah.
I picture Jason as the oil fairy, slinging oils, or even Oprah. You get an oil, you get an oil. Everybody look under your chair.
Oprah.
Yeah, you know how Oprah gives away free stuff in her show? Well, she used to.
Lorelai will never get one now because she just called me Oprah.
She's a Marine, you have to.
That's even more of a reason why she should know not to call me.
So anyway.
So Anita gets the blend trio tonight.
And I also have, like, one of the things I may do is there's a little package of, like, lemon, peppermint, and lavender. And I may give away one of those one time.
That's the big thing.
It just kind of depends on where
Trophy
we're
husband
running.
in the house.
Yeah. It just depends on if I smile big, Robbie, can I get one? We'll see. We're working on it. We're going to give away a little bit at a time.
We're giving away a bunch.
Oh, yay. Zena's here.
Zena! Where you been?
She's been real busy because school's back in session now. So she's been pretty busy. So, all right. So, what we're here to actually talk about.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Jason has been begging me to talk about blends, not just single oils. And so I thought, with school getting ready to start for everybody, and the change of the seasons
change.
With all the season changings and all of the different germs that are now being tossed around because of school starting back.
And the zombie virus. Cab!
He kills me. I mean,
Thank you, Cab.
Thank you, Cab.
Busting the house with a big 20.
I know, right? Didn't even know he was here.
Cab's another one that likes to lurk in the back. He's awesome.
Yeah, he
Thank you so much, Cab.
But now go ahead and see which one he wants, and we'll send him something because that's pretty awesome. He's been very supportive of us.
All right, Cab's getting a free trio blend.
So anyway, we were talking, and I decided that the best thing for us to do is to talk about the protective blend, which in different companies is different, has a little bit of a different recipe.
Okay. Can you hold on just a second? Cab, can you please send us your address? We are going to send you, my brother, 3 samples of the essential oils. Now, I know you come in and you support and everything, so we're giving you the sample trio, which has the peppermint, the melaleuca, and the lavender.
Which, guys, I mean, those 3, you could get away with those 3 and use those.
Yeah. And Cab is a vet, so, brother, I don't know if you have any trouble sleeping, but that lavender one will definitely help you out.
Yeah, the lavender is fantastic when it comes to that. So anyway, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to be making any more of those little bottles. I just, I want to try this too, just to see, you know, how it goes over, because I don't want to, with the way that our...
Well, some of the stuff that I'm going to want to give away probably doesn't come in those things.
No, as a matter of fact, those are the only 2 right now. I'm sure they will make more.
Because I know, look, some of my favorite oils are like eucalyptus, lemon, lemongrass, wintergreen, you know, and those ones work awesome for me. Basil, especially when somebody eats a lot of cabbage. Basil, defuse some basil, and that is the bomb. It takes it away.
So, well, but you know, basil's also good for an earache. So, I mean, some of these oils are, I mean, there's so many different things that it can help with. So, so anyway, all right. So we're gonna talk about protective blend. I have mentioned this blend before when we were talking about the individual oils, especially when we were talking about clove and cinnamon, because they're and there's it's kind of funny because I had always thought that thieves oil was something that was named long time ago, but apparently that is a proprietary name. So basically there was a concoction that was used years and years and years ago, back when the plague was going on, used by
bring out your dead.
People who were going in and robbing the families of people that had just passed away from the plague.
Is that really robbing, though?
Well,
or
I mean,
that just being a pirate?
I mean, if there's still people that live in the house but just haven't gone back because their family members have died. I mean, but anyway, so the question was, how were they being able to be exposed to those belongings and not get sick? And come to find out, they used, and I've heard different things like the Four Thieves vinegar mix, and there's all these different, but essentially there's been a protective blend put together to be able to help with immune system support. So helps boost your immune system, keeps it functioning properly, and if it's ever compromised by anything, this oil blend actually helps to boost that immune system back up to where it's performing properly. So, hey Susan, I'm saving up for oil starting to fermenting. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit. So like with the oil from the other company, they actually, that's how the story went. Yeah, it was not a nice thing to do. Just, yeah, they were just thieves. I mean, it's just, or robbers or whatever you want to call them. But this company coined the name thieves oil based off of that history. Okay, so, but in that particular blend, by that name, it actually has lemon. Now, in the one that is in this blend, it's still a citrus, but instead they use wild orange. So you have wild orange,
It's my mom.
clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. Okay. Now the rosemary is the one that always throws me off because when I think of rosemary, I'm thinking of memory and brain function and things like that. But rosemary actually does have some immune support properties as well. Yeah, so that was kind of, because that always throws me. Every time I'm trying to remember what all are in there, I always forget rosemary because it just doesn't fit with like the other ones, at least in what I've used rosemary for. So the protective blends were made during the bubonic plague. One cool thing, I meant to load up this picture, but I forgot to do it. Have you guys ever seen the picture of the doctors, the garbs that they had to wear when they would go to treat or to assess the dead and damage of the bubonic plague? It was like they had to wear like a black cloak, and then they had a mask that looked like a bird. Like has like a beak, the long beak. I'm sure if you saw the pictures, you would recognize it. So anyway, that mask actually had a function. It would hold in that nose. It would hold either dried herbs or oils or whatever to keep them from getting sick when they would go to treat patients.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
That big sample box that you were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
We got one.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay. Suburban, you're getting the big sample box, and I'm going to try to call into Carol for her to bring it out for your birthday. So happy birthday, Suburban.
And I know she's had an interesting weekend. She and I actually had a funny this weekend. We had a miscommunication. Yeah, so that was the purpose of the mask, was that long beak. In that long beak, they would store dried herbs and oils and things of that nature.
I'm just gonna go get it.
That would help to keep them from getting sick when they were anyway, so that's what they used it for. So anyway, they also would spray that blend on their cloak. That's why they wore it over their clothing, so that it would protect their clothing as well. And they would spray that on the cloak to protect them from getting, for any kind of transference of the bacteria or virus, whatever it was. That's what they did. So this oil, how it's made, everything in here is steam distilled except for the wild orange. The wild orange is cold pressed from the rinds. That's how they get the oil out of the orange rind. How to use it? You can use it aromatically, you can use it topically, and you can use it internally. There are actually products that doTERRA's put out that have the doTERRA blend in them. So like they have a toothpaste and some foam soap and a whole bunch of different things that they've used this blend. They also have beadlets, so they're like little just little itty bitty circles that have the oil inside them into like a veggie cap that just
I just bought the whole bag.
that just basically breaks down once you
That's the corner of the desk on my face.
breaks down as you ingest it. Yeah, that's what I was just telling them. So like that's what these are. This is doTERRA makes an On Guard toothpaste. These are actually little samples of the toothpaste. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 5 of those.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt again, and I'm sorry. But Suburban, this is what you're getting for your birthday.
It's got lemon, lavender, and peppermint in it.
Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. It's an introductory kit.
Yep.
So this is what you're getting. Happy birthday from us to you.
Yep. You write that down? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, now, if you use this topically, you have to be careful.
Okay, Zena, I'll send you one of them. I'll send you one of these.
With the using it topically, you have to be careful because the wild orange is a citrus, and so it does. You do have photosensitivity towards it. So, if you're going to put it on topically, you want to make sure you're not just standing out in the sun over the next 12 hours. So this is one of those that, like, we use a lot at night, like before they go to bed. That way we don't run into that problem of the photosensitivity, because then it's on the last part of that, you know, of that issue, so that you don't have to worry about it as much. And if you're going to dilute it, then that also will help as well. Let's see. All right, so let's talk about these oils individually. You have wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. Now, we've already covered all 5 of these in my classes, so if you have any major in-depth questions about those, you can go back and refer back to those videos, because we covered each one of those pretty extensively. But just for a refresher, wild orange is anti-inflammatory. It's antispasmodic, antiseptic, it's a diuretic, it's a cholagogue, meaning that it promotes liver health.
A what?
Cholagogue.
Cholagogue?
It promotes liver health. And it's also a very powerful disinfectant. So wild orange, a lot of your citrus are really good for, even if you're going to purify your air. They work really well for, like, disinfecting and things like that. So that's another thing that the wild orange is really good for. So when you're talking about this blend, and I said one of the uses is to diffuse, this works really good to diffuse in the air when you've got airborne kind of illnesses that are going through, whether it's the flu or whatever. You got people coughing and hacking and spitting on stuff and not realizing it. You kind of have to work on keeping everything kind of clear the air, and this is one of those that works really well for that.
Do you think we should send this with the sample trio?
No.
Okay.
That's an extra thing. I know you're all excited that you got this big bag of things, but we're planning on doing this class every week, so I want you to save some of it, okay? I know you're a kid in a candy shop, but you gotta...
Well, they're my friends. I wanted to give them stuff.
Okay, that's great, but we've got plenty to give away.
I'm already getting in trouble, y'all. 1 drop of wild orange once a week per goat for deworming properties.
Have you tried
oregano?
Oregano. With oregano, you don't have to, I don't think you have to give it every week. I think you do it like 3 times.
You do it for 3 days. Boom, boom, boom.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Time to get cuddles.
Cuddles.
So Amanda says her sister uses it in her classroom. Yes, I have heard of teachers diffusing it in their classroom to keep their kids from getting sick.
Yep.
Yes.
And they'll also use lemon and serenity.
I have a friend who uses lemon and rosemary. The lemon's for focus. The rosemary is for memory. She also uses balance or serenity, either one of those.
What's up, Rick?
To be able to promote, calm in the classroom, that as well. Okay, so moving on to clove. Clove is good as it's an antimicrobial, it's antifungal, it's a very strong antiseptic, it's antiviral, and it's an immune stimulant. So with clove, we've talked about before, a lot of people use that for dental issues. So if they have any kind of abscess or any kind of thing going on inside with anything having to do with tooth pain, gum issues, people use clove a lot for that. I've used clove for that, and part of the reason why it works so well is that strong antiseptic property. Okay, so Wholesome Roots brings up a good thing. She says wild orange is the one that's backed by scientific journals, so even vets agree. We've actually got a local vet down in Augusta that's been doing testing, and they've been documenting how effective oregano is with
Wholesome Roots, are you
parasites.
on Facebook? If so, I can
add you to that group.
Add you to that group. They've been doing a lot of studies and a lot of experiments with different oils for different health issues with livestock, especially with goats. There's a lot of folks in Augusta.
A lot of folks have goats, so they have a lot of answers for even like milking issues, like they're trying to freshen a goat or do whatever they need to do. There's a lot of information on goats. So, okay, so cinnamon. Cinnamon's very similar to clove in that it's antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial. But here's the great thing about cinnamon. Any of you military people out there know what a force multiplier is, right? Yes?
Are you asking?
You do, yes.
I know what I taught you about it.
Force multiplier is, right?
I know you asking
So, so force multiplier, in this case, cinnamon is a force multiplier. What it does, it actually makes the other properties of the other oils that much more potent. So it's not just that it's antimicrobial and antifungal and all of that. It also helps the other ones. Busted.
No, I don't remember. I'll be lucky to remember my kids' names.
But Rose, I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't put two and two together until we were doing the video with the calf being born. And I kept seeing her comment, and I was like, who is this Rose person? So then I went to your page, and I was like, oh, I never knew her name was Rose. So can you put the clove straight on the gums? I mean, I wouldn't, because it burns. I'll tell you what I did. Clove is a hot oil. Clove and cinnamon both.
Didn't Kitty use clove on a toothache?
She did, but she also put a bunch of other oils in it to get. I mean, you could do clove by itself, but if you're going for that numbing, like absolutely numbing, yes, you can put it on there. What I've done in the past, Kitty has a recipe. I still haven't written it down because I know I can just ask her for it. But what I do when I have an issue with gums or anything like that, I do clove, cinnamon, and I do peppermint, because peppermint is really strong and numbing as well. So I take those three together, and between those three, it numbs it up and it cleans everything out, and like she said, draws the poison out and everything to where it's all good. So one clove, one peppermint, one helichrysum. So she uses clove, I use cinnamon.
Zena, no, I haven't.
Dried oregano.
Because we've always got the oil. So don't forget to put that oregano order in right now. Send her the email. That way you got it on hand, because it works like a champ. Now, before you get started, I wanted to answer that real quick, and I want to ask you a question. Because you said if you're trying to numb the tooth with clove. So could you, or do you think if the fecal matter hit the oscillation device and you later down the road you got a cavity or something when things started to settle back down, but we weren't back to things
to where you had dentists
and you had to have
dental
work done on the tooth. Like somebody had to drill it. Like you had, maybe you knew a dentist, but there was no, didn't have any access to Novocaine or anything. Could they use that to be able to help numb it?
I mean,
you think?
I think in those kind of situations, we don't really know what's going to happen if that ever were to happen. I think a lot of people on a daily basis, and I know there are several in this chat that can't afford to go to a dentist, and they use these oils to maintain the health of their gums or teeth or to alleviate pain. So I think that's probably the better question is that if we were ever in that kind of a situation, these oils would be important to have to maintain. Because here's the thing. A lot of people are going to have a hard time getting clean, fresh water to brush teeth.
That's true.
But all of those oils will kill the bacteria in your mouth.
And didn't Miss Kay said that the lemon essential oil would help purify the water?
Yeah, but I wouldn't completely, because I think your most effective is always going to be boiling
it, right?
I
mean,
right, but
wouldn't hurt.
Right. So see, that's what Anita's saying. Cloves saved me till I could get my bad tooth pulled. Right. Right, and that's the thing. Like, there have been times I've heard whiskey helps. Yeah, I mean, and this has that same kind of an effect. It is very numbing, and peppermint does that too.
So what you're saying is that Tom Hanks would have killed for some clove essential oil when he was stuck on that island that FedEx put him on.
So Lorelai says there's a book. It's called When There's No Doctor or Dentist. So we should probably look that up and see. But yeah, it's two separate books. Okay. So there's When There's No Doctor and When There's No Dentist. Yeah, clove, what I end up doing is I end up taking those together and I put them in water because the water just kind of helps it swish in my mouth. It's not going to make it it's not going to mix together because oil and water don't mix, but what it does do is it helps it splash around inside my mouth and make sure that it gets everywhere it needs to go. Some people do oil pulling where they put it in with coconut oil and swish it around that way and swish everything through. Some people don't like that. I did that once, didn't I? People. I'm not crazy about the oil pulling.
When I had a toothache one time, didn't I do that?
I don't know, but I definitely I can definitely tell you that when because I have a wisdom tooth or something back here that every once in a while will start to cut and start to hurt.
That's because you're so smart.
And I will use that in a small ramekin. I'll mix it all together, and then that's how I maintain it and make sure it doesn't become an issue. Okay, so now we're down to eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is great for a number of things.
It's an awesome oil.
It's definitely the anti-inflammatory. I mean, everybody always talks about, eucalyptus being used for like sore muscles and stuff. Wholesome Roots is right. Vodka in your mouth. And that's another reason why people talk about storing liquor for
I didn't mean to get us off on a tangent.
No, it's fine. We've got plenty of time. We don't have anybody behind us, so it's fine. But people will use alcohol to numb because vodka or even gin. I bet gin would be good too, to help numb that and do that as well. Okay, so as far as the eucalyptus goes, it's anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic. It's a decongestant. It's antiseptic, antibacterial. It's germicidal, antiviral, antifungal. Eucalyptus is one of those oils that can definitely help out a lot. Vodka in your mouth is always a good thing. Yeah. So it looks like Rose and I are going to need to compare notes on some oil blends because I would love to pick her brain about couple of things. Yeah, I'm sure it burns. But when you're thinking about the burn versus the pain of a sore, sore tooth, sore gum, and again, with the alcohol or the oil, either one, you're killing bacteria. You have all of this active bacteria going on inside your mouth that's just perpetuating the problem. When you have a liquor or an oil that's going to have that, between those two things, you're going to kill the bacteria in your mouth. So Lost Dude says, what is the truth about coconut oil? California is considering banning it for being a carcinogen. Let's see. One Lost Dude, if used in cooking, once it reaches over a certain temp, it can turn into a carcinogen. Okay. I have not heard that. I do know that it has a different, what is it called? Burning point or whatever.
Flash point.
Right. Then, but in this kind of a situation where you're literally just putting them together as a carrier oil, it, as far as I know, has not been. And
well, Kitty made
Kitty made a good point.
Remember when eggs would kill you?
Yeah.
And all I'll add to that is, remember when cigarettes were healthy?
Yeah, right. So Kitty says, Robyn, that reminds me, I have a high blood pressure mix I came up with. Seems really work.
You're supposed to read that.
Need to send it to you. That sounds good. Yeah, you don't boil coconut oil. You don't get it that hot.
But you put the lime in the coconut.
Okay. And then the last one is rosemary. And like I said before, I always forget this one because it just doesn't normally stick in my brain as one for immune support. However, it is an antioxidant, so it helps with getting rid of the free radicals that are in our system that we are exposed to every day, whether it be smog from living in a big city, or like in our case, we're exposed to basically poison in the air from when they empty out the chicken houses around here. There's all that ammonia flying around. So what this does is it helps to get rid of all of that stuff out of our system. It's also anti-inflammatory. It is an anti-carcinogenic, and it's antibacterial. I don't know how many of you guys know what H. pylori is. I didn't know about it either until I had a stomach ulcer. Once I had a stomach ulcer, I realized that H. pylori is what causes the stomach ulcer. And rosemary is very effective against H. pylori. And it's also very effective against staph infection as well. So those are, a couple of things for rosemary. It makes sense that that would be included in the blend.
Okay, stop. Giveaway time.
Okay.
For a sample blend trio. Give me a question. From what you're trying to teach it. What you've already taught. Give me a question.
Which oil is the force multiplier?
Yeah. The first one that can tell us which oil is the force multiplier wins. Sample blend trio. Sample blend trio. Who's it gonna be? Who gonna do it? Who gonna do it? Boom boom. I need a shave. I'm gonna get it all taken down so it's all even.
Look, I was watching some of our old videos from some of the oils videos from early on, just to kind of make sure I was covering some of the same stuff.
Nope, not wild orange.
And I know, but I can't answer because she's already won. Nope.
Which one is it?
Nope. We're getting there. We're getting close. Getting close.
Getting close.
Nope.
Not helichrysum. Not clove.
Not in this blend that we're talking about. But I do believe helichrysum is one of those.
No.
I'm talking about in the blend of On Guard with all the 5 oils that I told you about. There it is.
Tracy Downs.
Cinnamon.
Tracy Downs. Tracy Downs and Terry Johnson. Both get it.
Ding ding. Anita's funny. Some of those oils that y'all are mentioning are probably also force multipliers, but this was specific to the On Guard blend. Okay, so there's all kinds of different uses for this oil. This is not just, well, I'm sick, let me use it. Okay, there's a lot more to this blend than just, I've got a cough and I'm not feeling well, so let me use it. It definitely helps to support your immune system, but within all the different body systems, you'll find there's some pretty surprising uses for this oil.
Okay, hold on. We've skipped over like the most important part of this whole class. This is the On Guard. Taste test time. I just take a drop. I got more than one. I can.
I mean, people normally put it in caplets, but
Oh my Jesus! I'm gonna drool like a Rottweiler. There's the cinnamon. Oh my God, the cinnamon. Oh.
Oh my God, your breath. All right, Cab, have a good night.
Cab, thank you so much for donating to the show. Donating to the
face, there it is.
Us being able to give out more samples. We appreciate it, Cab. Wow. So I tasted the cinnamon like right off the bat. But there were some other weird tastes in there. Is there clove in there? It might have been in there. There was one that is just like super bitter. What was that? Eucalyptus?
Probably.
I mean, it's like nasty.
And you know, technically you're not supposed to ingest eucalyptus by itself because that it can be very toxic. But when you have all of that other stuff in there together, it's fine.
You know, one day I'm going to start doing my own research because, you know, got me with a hemorrhoid blend and now you're trying to kill me. Did you take out some type of life insurance I didn't know about? The cinnamon was hot.
Well,
it was almost like the fireball one.
Together.
What
Cassia, I'm telling you, I'm going to do another class on Cassia just so I can sit here and put it in my water while we're talking about it.
That might be.
Robyn, does doing it cheap Pawpaw make t-shirts? I don't know who that is.
Don't know who that is.
I don't know. I did have somebody send me a link yesterday to look into some t-shirts, and I did send them an email. Because it was the weekend, I didn't want to try and call it there. They might not have been. But I might try during lunch tomorrow to contact them to see if I can get a quote on some shirts.
That was just weird.
Yeah, so, Grace needs that.
I'll never forget that blend when you told me to taste it, because I literally felt like my lips were going like this.
Pulling away?
Yep. Wow. That one was not a good tasting one. I didn't like that one at all. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, you know him.
I don't know what she's talking about. She don't talk to me anyway, so.
Saying Grizz is a pain in the butt or just pain in his... I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So, as far as with the brain,
this is your brain.
it can help with...
Brain on guard.
aging. They've even used it with people with strokes
With
because
aging, so then that means it could help with memory because, you know, your memory goes when
well,
you get
again, rosemary's in there, and rosemary is definitely good for. Are you okay?
older.
I don't have bread to give to you either, even if I could.
I'm not gonna pull a Dutch and blow chunks on a live stream, just not. But that is definitely one not to take on an empty stomach.
Well, you don't need to take it. There's a lot of people that take it in caplets.
Yeah.
Or they take it in a beadlet because of all of that that's going on in there. So.
Is there an oil for gassy babies? Digest Zen.
Well, the only problem with that, Amanda,
You gotta
is
use it neat. I mean, not neat.
I would diffuse it.
Yeah.
You
Peppermint
don't.
works great for gas.
Yeah, you don't want that to be. Yeah. You're killing me over there. Is your tummy turning? You're doing that on purpose. That's me. That's me. That's me. Okay. Anyway. Hey, have you got dinner done yet? Have you got dinner done yet?
No, I haven't done dinner yet.
Okay, can you please start working on it, please?
I haven't done dinner yet.
Your mother.
What?
I just said your mom.
Okay, can you make dinner, please?
Okay.
Okay. Alright, bye. We really need to get our radios back because that's annoying. Okay. As far as the brain, it's anti-inflammatory and it's antioxidant properties, so it works out really. Yeah, we need peanut
very
butter.
White.
No, you've looked like that this whole time.
Oh, so you saying I'm the whiter?
So she said, "This is why I take my On Guard in a capsule." Yeah. You're making my son crack up with retching noises. Somebody put a cork in Jason's mouth.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
great. Nicole's back in time just
yay. I fell while picking basil.
You need to take
Nick,
2 drops of On Guard on the tongue.
No velociraptors, please.
Wow.
Woo!
Tracy, if you hadn't won, I would have just given you something away because you done brought back old school.
I mean, that was like almost a year ago because that was Marine Corps birthday.
Yes.
I thought Jason and Robyn knew doing it cheap. No, I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who that is.
I really don't. Like, I'm drawing a blank. Susan, I don't think they do. Yeah, I don't even know who that is. Do you need to excuse yourself? Because you're killing me. Okay. Stop. This oil is also good for...
C. Dean is back.
Yeah, she had surgery the other day. Trini is saying, he's cracking me up saying, someone get Big Bear a bucket or a trash can. You better get out because I swear if you blow chunks, I'm blowing them right on you back. I'm just saying. Pawpaw looks like Santa Claus. I don't know who that is.
Well, C. Dean, because you had surgery, we're going to give you a free sample, the sample trio of peppermint, melaleuca, and lavender for a happy recovery.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, as far as the cardiovascular system, this oil works really good for all those issues. You have iron deficiency issues, or blocked blood vessels, chest pain, elevated or imbalanced cholesterol.
I think I might be pulling a Dutch, running out the door going.
Poor circulation, hardening of the arteries, irregular heartbeats, clogged arteries, chest infection, congenital heart disease, all of these different things. This oil causes a few burps on an empty stomach. And there's Dutch. He's gonna start making retching sounds now.
No, Dutch will probably puke if I keep it up. Cause I'll be
Stop. Okay. Now endocrine system. This helps with like pancreatitis. Somebody who's constantly feeling sick, it helps with that. And it also helps with balancing blood sugar. So
my blood sugar is definitely balanced right now. Let me tell you, boy. Woo.
Why don't you take a Digest Zen tab?
I don't know if that'd help.
I think it might.
You think I should?
I don't know. Maybe not.
There's also a new thing. You know how we showed you the deep blue tabs? Well, now there is.
You can't see that.
Digest Zen,
Tabs.
like Tums.
It's like Tums or Rolaids kind of thing.
Oh.
What did you learn in oils class tonight, kids? How to throw up oils 101. Okay, so obviously this helps with your immune system. It stimulates the immune system and helps fight off bacteria and viruses.
Great. I can now cure cancer and HIV.
There's something called a flu bomb that uses this oil. You do 5 drops of the protective blend, 5 drops of melaleuca, and 3 drops of oregano. You put it into a veggie capsule, and then you repeat that every 3 to 4 hours as the symptoms persist. And it actually works really, really well. Ah, TJ's Woodworking Shop in the house. Okay. Now, it also helps with any kind of airborne germs or bacteria. We talked before, chronic cold, pains from illnesses, cold sores. And cold sores, this works really good for cold sores. You could take it and put it straight onto the cold sore and it helps.
So it helps with herpes. Because that's all cold sores.
Right. So, yes. Yes. So, herpes simplex.
So Dutch?
Do it, LOL. You'll feel better. You know what he's going to say next? Don't let Chesty down. Chesty wants you to do it.
Chesty wants me to blow chunks?
You remember he did that to you that night. Yeah. He's like, do it for Chesty. Chesty wants you to do it. Are they chew tabs or caps? I think they're chew tabs.
Well, let's find out. Let's open it. Let's open the door.
Make a path to the door. No, I'm not that fast. But this also helps with even MRSA, mumps, sore throat, staph, strep, flu, viruses, you name it. Anything immune system related, this oil can definitely support your immune system. Or burpees instead of herpes. That's funny. Andy's Backyard and Shop. Hey, everybody, just got here. I hope everybody is doing well. Oh!
Keeping it Dutch.
Look at her, to do it! Just on face and mouth. It might burn in other areas. Yeah, right? I don't know if you should do that. Well, it's calcium carbonate. What? Is it safe to take if you're on blood thinners? Does it taste like the Digest Zen stuff? Don't take it.
I'm taking 2.
Did it say you could take 2?
I didn't read it.
This is what you don't do. Hey, it's
Hi.
Emma. Unicorn farts.
Now, that was very...
It's a chewable tab, yes.
Right, it's a chewable tab. Now, when I chewed into it, first of all, why am I the one always...
You just kill me. This says 1 tablet in your soak too. I hope you get sick.
Why am I...
Just saying.
Well, it tastes very good.
Because it has the anise in there.
And that's what it... Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what was very cooling?
That's a laxative. The peppermint.
Peppermint,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, it was peppermint.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm on blood chunks anymore.
There you go. That's the calcium carbonate too. That's helping it.
Wow. Was that a short round?
No, I don't think it's not a laxative. It's definitely to help with digestion and
Well,
soothe the
if it's a
stomach.
laxative, then I'm pooping through a screen door for a
Well,
little
you're
while.
already pooping through a screen door anyway.
No, I
matter.
got a little chunky. You
There
have
you
to
go.
sift it now.
Oh my god.
Now it's just butt mud. No, it's not.
It's butt mud. We're
butt
back to
mud.
butt mud.
Yeah. You
We're
could
not
probably
pooping
make
through
a
the
castle
screen.
out of it if you wanted to be in there. Form it up. I don't know.
Today's oils class brought to you by
Butt mud. But these are pretty good. If you guys have a lot of heartburn or indigestion problems, then hit Robyn up for these. The Digestin tabs.
It is. It'll make you lay a loose deuce.
And they're just these little chewable tabs. Like that. Very good. I'm not burping anymore. You see me just take 2. And I was only supposed to take 1, but
But Jason tends to, like, his medication, like, when he used to have to take medication, he used to have to take more than the average person. So I'm not sweating it too much, but he needs, he needs to read directions a little bit better.
That was very good.
Mm-hmm. And it does help. Like, Digestin, and we'll talk about that, we'll talk about that oil here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
That one has been a godsend for us.
Oh, yes.
Because, let's see, can any just store? I've heard fish antibiotics, but we won't really be storing up antibiotics. We've been storing
We're going to be
up
storing
oils.
up oils.
Because
yeah.
a lot of the oils have the same properties as some of the antibiotics.
And here's the thing. They come in these amber glasses.
Mm-hmm. Amber glass bottles.
You can stick a crap ton in a ammo can.
Mm-hmm.
And
so they're not exposed to sunlight
right.
or heat. Mm-hmm.
Or heat. And if you put them in a root cellar or you put them down in your... My brain just died.
I mean, you could dig up your...
bunker.
Right? Or you could dig up your raised bed, put it down into your raised bed, and, you know...
And then you have them.
Hey, Lone Star.
And then, as long as they're not opened, they're good for
and
forever.
See, that was going to be my thing. Lost Dude brought it up. Antibiotics expire.
Yeah.
They do have a shelf life. These don't.
Yeah.
As long as they stay closed, they...
Because we asked that question when Robyn first started getting in the class. A lot of the preppers that followed us asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went straight to the horse's mouth. We went straight to doTERRA.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, okay, listen. And they said, as long as you don't open it,
indefinitely.
indefinite.
Now, some of the citrus oils will break down after they've been opened up.
Right.
But
and
that's
like
part of it
10,
because
15
of the,
years.
And that's partially because of the process of how they're cold pressed. They're not steam distilled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of that issue. But all of your other ones, and if you're very careful with how you use your oils, if you make sure that when you're opening your cap, you're not putting your nasty fingers all over it and breaking all that down, your oil will last a while. And what they've always told me, the answer that I got was that you'll use it faster than it'll go out of, can I buy a box to store my oils in? Yeah, I mean, they make a little, it's kind of cute, but it's not practical for me because it only carries like 25 or 30 bottles, and I probably have 100 bottles at this point.
We're going to be buying ammo cans for Robyn stuff. Yeah.
And that's another really good point, oldest dirt. I've heard that in 7 to 10 years, most antibiotics will not work on most of the infections that we have now because a lot of the things are becoming antibiotic resistant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things about some of these, some of the oils are, they've done research in other countries where they're not as worried about oils taking over the health industry, like apparently, everywhere else kind of can be. But they've done studies to see if these oils will help against drug resistant bacteria. So,
and we keep certain oils in the bug out bag.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not going to spill the beans and tell you which ones because Robyn's going to be writing a book on that one too. So.
And the other thing that I've done too, and I'm going to have these at the convention, is I've made, I don't know about everybody else, but when I travel, or even if we go on a day trip, this is really nice to have. I've made up a cloth container to be able to slide the bottles into and roll them up so that they don't.
Yeah. And we got a cool little cigarette lighter oil diffuser.
That was really cool. Yeah, we got that from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And that was really neat. It's got these little clay discs, and you put the oil on the clay disc, and then it fits down in there.
I'll look to see if I can find it on Amazon, and then we'll put it in the description for you guys to get if you want that. It works like a champ. We love it.
Yeah. So, okay, let's see. Candida, anybody who's knows anything about Candida, like thrush, things like that, this oil is actually good for that as well. It definitely promotes health on the cellular level. It's good for like your blood, cervix, lymphatic system, the lungs, pancreas, prostate, skin, throat, tissue, uterus, all of it. It's very good on the cellular level. So, that is one of those things, this is another oil that seems like is really going to be a good one to keep stored for that kind of a situation. Now, respiratory system. And we talked about the respiratory blend that we'll talk later, which would be the obvious for a respiratory system. But this oil can help with things like wheezing, congestion. So like you're trying to break up thick mucus, you could take the oil and actually apply it to your throat area, chest area, and actually will help open things up because you got that eucalyptus and stuff working in there to be able to help. It helps with croup, productive coughs, even GERD. They say that it would help with GERD. We have not tried that particular oil for that. You have used mostly peppermint or digestin. But we could try that and see if that would work.
On guard?
It's also good for like watery eyes, any kind of respiratory inflammation or infection. Again, with your lungs, bloody nose, nasal polyps, postnasal drip, decrease or a loss of smell, stuffy nose. And the stuffy nose I could see because when you inhale that clove and cinnamon get up in those nostrils and then the eucalyptus definitely will open you up. But again, in my situation, I would use the digest or the breathe before I would use that because of how strong those things are. Let's see. I think that's just about it. So anyway, so this oil is very useful for a lot of different things, not just I don't feel well. But a lot of people will use this. They'll take it and put it on the bottoms of their feet or put it around their throat and chest area to help with, any kind of just overall general sickness issues. This blend of oils works very well together to be able to combat a whole lot of illness. So that's my class.
Okay, so for the free sample of On Guard, what's the question?
I don't know.
Come up with one about your class, from your class.
I don't know.
Okay, while she's thinking up of a question to give away the On Guard sample, I want to give away some more stuff.
Now see, that's a good point. Tracy said she uses that blend in her necklace. So they have diffuser necklaces that you could put the oil on the necklace and it diffuses throughout the day. So this is one of those blends. She's used it for a while and she hasn't been sick, you know. And then Rose was saying that she's been sick and she's had her On Guard-ish kind of blend. And then also used Breathe. In between those two, she's actually feeling a lot better.
Lorelai, we will put a link up in the description to get for a diffuser necklace. If you don't like what those look like, go ahead and email Robyn because she can make some. But
I can't think of a question. I can think of one thing, and that's getting in my bed. I'm very tired.
I'm sorry, you have to go pick up the kids. All right, so for the free sample of On Guard.
The answer is 7. Woody, he's so funny. We use it for bug bites. It works really well. Yeah, I know. See, I tend to use tea tree or melaleuca. Yeah, you know, Andy, and you're very hands-on. You can take and make a clay necklace, and it diffuses throughout the day, and it also soaks it all up, and just over time allows it to diffuse.
Okay. True or false? This oil does not help the brain at all. True or false? On Guard will not help any brain aging, strokes, won't help out lack of oxygen, any of that kind of stuff. True or false? Do 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 do. JRC Homestead, you are the first and you won it.
That's done. Why does it sound like I hear the, what you call it? The tractor.
Okay, so I was getting ready to say something really cool and I forgot what it was. Stinks. Alright, so let's recap. We talked about a lot tonight. Let's recap. How many of these do I have?
5. You gave one away though. So
I got 4. Okay.
Wholesome Roots said, have you given anything to Rose? She said she would like to try it, so we can.
Okay. Wholesome Roots.
To Rose.
You're gonna get some toothpaste too. Okay, so let's talk about everything that we've gone over. We've talked about On Guard, of course. That was the major oil tonight. We got On Guard toothpaste. You got the On Guard essential oil.
They have beadlets, so they even have, from what I understand, they even have a laundry detergent or something. I don't know.
Right. They got lots of things. We talked about the deep blue tablets, that basically essential oil Advil. We talked about the antacids.
Not Advil, like an anti-inflammatory is basically what it is.
So, if you guys didn't win, and you guys want to try some of these, hit Robyn up. Robyn can order them all for you. Also, if you guys have been trying a lot of the essential oils and you think that you want to start to kind of make that a career, hit Robyn up. She can help you out and put you on the right path with that also. Now, Anita, Cab 7, Suburban Hillbilly, Zena, Tracy Downs, Terry Johnson, Dean, J.R. Homestead, and Wholesome Roots. Please do not forget to send us your mailing address at bigbearfarmsoils@hotmail.com.
Yeah, and says there you go.
That's bigbearfarmsoils@hotmail.com.
All right, y'all. Another one in the books.
Right. I'd also like to take this time and give a shout out to Cab 7 and Keeping It Dutch for their donations tonight in the super chat. Thank you guys so very much. Again, we use all super chat donations for this class and the Trap Talk class to be able to give away the free stuff that we're talking about.
Right.
It helps us pay for the packaging, the shipping, and sometimes the samples and stuff themselves. So we appreciate that. Guys, we're awesome tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
y'all have a good week.
Y'all have a good week. Don't forget about Trap Talk on Thursday night. We are going to be talking about the 110 conibear. So tune in if you're thinking about trapping, thinking about getting into it. Then by all means, you definitely want to be there because I don't know what I'm going to give away yet, but it's going to be cool. And then our Chewing the Fat live stream on Saturday. And then, of course, this class on Sunday. Now, I know it's Labor Day weekend this weekend.
So no excuse.
No excuse. You should be here.
You should be here on Saturday, on Sunday night.
And bring a friend. Y'all are probably going to have a barbecue or whatever. Just put us up on a big screen. And from all of that indigestion and stuff that you're going to be having from the ribs and the barbecue chicken and everything, we'll talk about this. I don't know what we're talking about next week. But you guys, please, as always, please, 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 be kind to one another. You don't know what kind of stuff that other person's going through. And please, do your part. Live a sustainable life. Do your part. Recycle, reuse to help take care of this planet because it's the only one we've got. And you got a second, say a prayer for those in Texas from the hurricane, and just say a prayer for your fellow man. We all need it. So,
we all need it.
Thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We love you. Well, and we will see. I'll see you. Are you gonna be on Trap Talk this week?
I don't know. Probably not.
I'll see you guys on Thursday. Robyn, see you guys maybe Saturday if we don't just pop in
at some point.
So we love you guys.
Love
Thanks
you guys.
for coming by.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.